Hello, and welcome to another edition of Leafless, Not Lifeless. I'm Sharon Benjamin. Thank you so much for joining me. Listen, do you have a story? You might have looked leafless at some point. Maybe people had written you off, but you were actually growing and developing. I'd love to hear your story. You can contact me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. That's leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. Now, the premise of the show is for you to tell stories about how you might have appeared to be leafless, but you were actually growing and developing. But it's also for those who are helping others to grow and develop. And my guest today is such a person, Dr. Laxley Stephenson, who is the CEO of Global Humanities Network Incorporated. He is working to help others. He has a keen eye to see others who may appear to be leafless to some, but he sees that they have great potential. So Dr. Stephenson, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Sharon, for having me. It's indeed my pleasure to be on such an important platform as yours.
Yes, I am looking forward to all of this wonderful information you have to share, because there are so many people. You know, we look at people sometimes from the outside, but we don't know what's going on in their hearts. We don't know what's happening with them. But as I said, you have a keen eye to see people and to see situations and to know that there is potential there. So that's what you're doing. So tell us, how is it that you came about to actually start Global Humanities Network?
So yes, I will do that, but I would like to say that I would like to thank and congratulate all those individuals out there who are doing this work that we're doing. You know, it's the work can be very tedious and heavy, but there are many individuals that came before us who are doing the work, and I want to commend them and encourage them to continue doing that work. So my organization is Global Humanity Network, as you said, and our vision is to promote humanity in underdeveloped communities globally. And our vision is, our mission is rather, is to improve residents' living conditions in underdeveloped communities by rallying individuals, families, and local businesses to step forward and act for betterment. We started this organization, a group of us, all schoolmates. We started this organization because, we saw a need, and we understand the notion that a small act of kindness can go a long way. And so we decided that we should take situations into our hands and do something. And that's when we founded this organization. So that's pretty much how we got started. We're blessed and fortunate that we have been, our donors and individuals, families and friends been very receptive. Some have joined us on this initiative, on this venture, and the rest is remaining to be seen.
Yes. So you mentioned you and some classmates. So let's step back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your early days.
So I am from Jamaica, a place called Little London, and it's on the western section of the island, and which is where I attended school. Now, back when I was born, there was not a lot going on in Little London. I remember growing up, and the times I've been going to school, maybe walking to school, not necessarily wearing shoes. So I've lived that life where it would have been nice to have someone come in to do the work that we're currently doing. That would have been uplifting. Now, so that's my beginning. That's my foundation. I attended the school. I was one of the first group of students that attended the London High School. And so we decided that this would be a good place for us to start and do the work that we're currently doing.
So what is the criteria for the communities that you assist, or where you go in and give help and support?
So the criteria is, it is essential that there's an established footprint that we can engage. There are individuals there who are willing to, to play an equal role as we are. So we go into areas where, first of all, there is a need, and that there are individuals in that community who are willing to own the need and act as key stakeholders. And so that is a key criteria that must exist for us to go in and do the work.
How do you prioritize once the need or the needs are assessed? How do you prioritize them?
Again, prioritization is based on, of course, the urgency of the need is very important. Also, there's a cost factor, because with limited resources, we can do what we can. So what it costs to do something is very important, but the most important criteria is the urgency of the need. Urgency of the need, that determine, and the support we will get or can get from the community as well.
So how were you able to go about putting together a network of people to assist you?
So as I think I said it earlier, that I invited friends and family members who are like-minded individuals, all who believe that there is a reason why they should do something and give back. And so it's pretty much a phone call. And since we have built that network of that core group of individuals, they now started to invite other people. So, and we currently have on in our group, maybe about 481 individuals who have joined us, and a significant amount of donors who are contributing to the causes that we are working on.
Now, this is a major undertaking. So for now, most of the work is in Jamaica, correct?
Most of the work is currently in Jamaica, and for a good reason.
And what is that good reason?
Well, when you're asking individuals or people to donate money, the work, the cause must resonate with them. Most of us have friends and family members who are donors who are from that particular area of Jamaica where we're doing the work. So that was done in an intentional way so that the cause will resonate and that we will get the monies we need to get started. That helped us to build credibility, to show that we were capable of handling the trust that's given to us when people donate money to us, to do what we say we're going to do. So that is one of the main reasons why we did our initial work there, and we'll continue to do some more work there.
So that's a good segue into this next question. What about checks and balances? Because you are here, how do you make sure that what you said you're going to do, and when you have to report to stakeholders, that it's actually carried out appropriately?
And that is always the question, right? Because again, we're handling monies that individuals trust us to give to us. So in all cases, when we go into a community to work, we ensure that each step of the way, the work, the process is reported to us. So we require photos, require videos. Sometimes we go in and we do site visits as well. We do not send monies to any individuals. All monies are sent to an organization there, and then that money is distributed. We're also given receipts for all the monies that are spent and what they're spent on. And in all cases, we pay for material. We very rarely pay for labor, because we expect that individuals from that community should be contributing what they can, and what they can contribute is their labor.
Why is that important? Why is that important that you're not paying for the labor, but you are kind of somewhat employing the people in the community as volunteers? Why is that important?
It is important for a number of reasons. One, we're building capacity. We're also teaching that receiving is a good thing, but you must also give back. And their ability to volunteer is one way for them to give back. And it's for them to say that I am playing my part in improving my community. It's their community, they own it. We go in and we facilitate in any way we can. However, they own their community, and that's what they do. And so far, we've been very successful. And I can give you an example. There's a case where we donated $25,000 to renovate a physical education building at the school, at the London High School. The budget to do so was $25,000, as I said. The project came back in way on the budget with much more done. So the principal is coming back to us next week for us to have a meeting to see what we'll do with the excess funds. And the reason he was able to do that is because he engaged a lot of volunteers to get the work done.
Thank you. I want to see if I can share here. So first of all, it's this is the Facebook page, and we can go back to that later. But I believe we have a picture here, the check that was donated. Is that the one? No, that's not it. Are these some of the individuals that this is from the school, from the high school, Dr. Laxley?
That is the principal and the head boy and the head girl. And that was at a presentation where we donated $10,000 to renovate the male students' bathroom. And if you saw what the bathroom looked like, you would have been amazed. And now, thankfully, we now have a bathroom that can stand up to any bathroom in any country, anywhere.
That is amazing. So you all have been doing other work and other places there. Tell us about this one. This was
a presentation that we did where we had the entire school, the students, they all came out to receive the gifts that we gave them. We did what we call our Helping Hands initiative, because we understand that, you know, in educating anyone, and development requires, you know, proper nutrition, and it's hard to learn and what we call a hungry belly, right? A hungry stomach. Yes. So we started this program it's a feeding program in view of the fact that food insecurity is such a big deal, and in a community where there is so much need. We started a program where we are actually delivering food to the children that need it the most in the school. And so far at this particular school, there are 500 students. So in fact, just tomorrow, we're going to ship 10 barrels of food to the school to address the food insecurity situation there. And what that will do, at least 500 students will be able to bring food home and feed their families for 5 days.
So it's not just giving them a lunch at school, but this is food that they can take home to their families.
And initially, when this program came about, the idea was to feed the elderly. But what we learned is that these students live in homes with elderly people. So why not give them the food and have them take it home to their elderly parents, grandparents, and so forth. And so that's what we do.
So all of this that you all are doing, you know, I asked about checks and balances earlier. So with people seeing what you're doing, it's solidifying and possibly getting other support.
And that is exactly the point, and why we're so appreciative that you have us on your program, because people will see what we're doing. For some, it will resonate with them, and if they're so inclined, then they will want to either join us in one way or the other, whether it's monetary or just to support what we're doing by volunteering in one of our committees. Yes.
So again, viewers and listeners can go to the Facebook page, Global Humanities Network on Facebook. Let's see what else we have here. This, Dr. Stephenson, tell us about this one.
That was a donation of 1.5 million Jamaican dollars to upgrade the male students' bathroom. I think I mentioned that earlier, that it was in such a deplorable condition that, you know, you have to provide an environment for students to want to go to. And that was not the case. So when that was reported to us and we saw the pictures, the photos of it, it was an easy decision to make. You ask, what are the criteria and how do you go to do the work that you do? It was an easy decision to make that this is something we needed to take on.
And that is amazing. I'm impressed, and I hope the viewers and listeners are as well. And here we have another group.
Right.
You all are doing a lot of work. Tell us about it.
So some of these individuals here are directors, and this was on a visit to Jamaica, where we went and we had just donated $25,000 to renovate the physical education building. So we went there to visit the school to check on the progress of the work. And we went back and we were actually in the principal's office right there when this picture was taken.
Amazing. I want to share another one here. More work is going on.
More work, yes. So it's back to school, right? It's a back to school thing. So what we're doing here, we donated $2,000 to buy 200 book bags. And the principal was actually doing the shopping. So he went, and again, you talk about check and balances. He sent us the pictures of him purchasing the bags. And he sent it to us. He also did a videotape, and they inspected every single bag before they made the purchase.
Excellent, excellent. We have the link here, and this link, viewers and listeners, has lots of other information for the Global Humanity Network. And so you can see that, and I'm going to go back to the Facebook page, then the logo for people to see, and that's Dr. Laxley Stephenson, President and CEO of Global Humanity Network. Dr. Stephenson, let me ask you another question, because part of the title here is Global Humanity Network. So what is your vision for the next 5 years, perhaps, for the network?
So our vision is to live the name that we are. We intend to take our business in a more active global way. That is, we will be seeking opportunities. And when I say opportunities, to do work in other countries. We intend to do work here in the United States. We intend to do work in Dominica, in Bulgaria. We intend to do work wherever work is needed. And we very much engage with the idea of humanity, is to give back, to make a difference, to value life. So we in the next 5 years, it is our intention that will not just be a word, but we will create awareness and the sense and need for us humans to act in the most humane way possible. And that is to take care of each other.
So do you at this point have any footprint in some of those places where you hope to go? Do you have any possibilities in those places yet?
We do have possibilities. We're looking at Dominica. We do have possibilities in there. And what we will do as well, we will tie into existing nonprofit organizations that are working there. And so instead of inventing the thing, we will just join forces with them. So that is one approach. We also have an advisory member, and she's from Bulgaria, currently living in France. So we are looking at doing some work there as well in Bulgaria, and regarding and relating to the overflow of people from Ukraine into Bulgaria. There's some need there for them to learn how to speak English, how to communicate with the English language. So we see that as an opportunity for us. A number of our directors, maybe 1, 2 of them are retired principals or teachers. So we see that as an opportunity there. We're also looking at Nigeria, and primarily because one of our members is from Nigeria. One of our members and a regular attendee to our meetings are from Nigeria, and some of our donors are from Nigeria. So we believe that if they're currently donating monies for us to do work in Jamaica, then they will most likely get involved and want to do something in their country as well.
This is an amazing opportunity for people to assist, as you said, humanity taking care of each other across the globe. I'm looking forward to seeing what else will come about, because something you said that's important, I think, is that, you know, of course, there are others who are doing it, but you are connecting with other organizations who are, or that are doing similar work, and which makes the work even, just compounds the benefit of the work. So that is wonderful. Any parting words for the viewers and listeners?
Yes. You know, I think it's important to understand the nonprofit ecosystem. It's made up of nonprofit workers. It's made up of donors. There's individuals who are in need. And I think it's very important that we all work together, because having a society and a community that consists of individuals who are doing extremely well and others that are not doing as well, there's an imbalance. And with that type of imbalance, none of us will do well. Ultimately, none of us will do well. And I also want to say, in terms of giving back, you don't have to be making a lot of money. You don't have to be wealthy. You just have to be doing a little bit better than the person that you're giving to. So if I have a part in word, that's what I will say. The notion of giving does not require you to be well off or to be doing exceptionally well. Just give back, because one small act of kindness can go a long way into making a difference in the life of another person.
And something you said earlier, volunteer. You may not have anything monetarily, but you may have a skill, you may have an ability. And you mentioned, so it's not just food or clothing, but you mentioned even teaching the English language or teaching something else. It might be a situation where maybe they're unwed parents who need to know budgeting skills or survival skills. So I'm guessing that those are the kinds of things that are on your list as well.
They are, and anything that is going to aid and support humanity is what we're about. That's what we're about. It's just to make a difference.
Thank you so much, Dr. Laxley Stephenson. I appreciate your sharing this information and being with me here on Leafless, Not Lifeless. Thank you so much, Dr. Laxley Stephenson. You can go to the Facebook page, look at Global Humanity Network Incorporated, and find out more about it. You can donate, you can do what you can. Maybe you're in Jamaica, maybe you're someplace else across the globe. It doesn't matter. You can be of assistance. So Dr. Stephenson, thank you so much again. And thank you, listeners and viewers, for being with me here on Leafless, Not Lifeless. I'm Sharon Benjamin. Maybe you have a story. Maybe you appear to be leafless at some point, but you were actually growing and developing. I'd love to hear your story. Or maybe you're helping other people to grow and develop. Contact me at leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. That's leaflessnotlifeless@gmail.com. And I would love to share your story as well. See you next time right here on Leafless, Not Lifeless with Sharon Benjamin. Have a great one.